Hi everyone, this is my chemistry channel. In this video, we're going to discuss the new topic, that is bioinorganic chemistry. And this bioinorganic chemistry is a very advanced topic for CSIR exams and NET exams and all, NET CSIR and SET exams. So these topics are very important for the exam point of view. So we will going to discuss in detail. First, see what is bioinorganic chemistry. Bio means living system. Inorganic, the elements, metals and non-metals, and chemistry and the role and reactions of inorganic elements in biological system. So that is the study of metals or non-metals in biological systems with the help of inorganic chemistry in the biological materials. So in bioinorganic chemistry, you see that there are a lot of bioactive materials are present. And if you take any bioactive materials, this contains some metals. So the metals are act as a central core in the bioactive substance. Let's see some of the examples. If you see the electron carriers, so the electron carriers are cytochrome and iron sulfur protein served as an electron transporting agents. So in the electron transporting agents, iron, Fe is the iron, which has a metal core in the cytochrome and iron sulfur protein. And likewise the blue copper protein is also a electron transporting agent. In that the copper is the central metal atom. Copper is the central metal atom. It's a D9 system. Next, the ferritin metal storage compounds, ferritin, transferrin, Fe is the central atom and metallothionein, zinc is the central atom. And some rest of the examples are oxygen transporting agent. Here iron and copper also sometimes involved in the oxygen transporting agent. Mainly iron is involved in the oxygen transporting agent in hemoglobin and myoglobin. So hemoglobin, as oxygen is transporting in hemoglobin, that is happening in the lungs. Myoglobin, the oxygen transport in the tissues. Okay. And photosynthesis, here the chlorophyll, the plants contains the pigment called chlorophyll. The chlorophyll has the central atom of magnesium. So magnesium in the +2 oxidation state will be present in the chlorophyll structure. And next, enzyme. So certain bioenzymes, that is enzymes which are using in the living systems, they are called bioenzymes. There are some examples, that is zinc, carboxy peptidase. This is an enzyme. This carboxy peptidase has a zinc in the central atom. And if you see amino peptidase, magnesium has the central atom. Okay. And if you see vitamins, yes. So cobalt, vitamin B12. Cobalt is a D block element. It's present in the vitamin B12, cobalamin. And nitrogen fixation in plants. Nitrogen fixation is where it's happening. Nitrogen fixation is happening in the case of leguminous plants. The root nodules of leguminous plants. Root nodules of leguminous plants contain some nitrogen fixation bacteria. So it involves the nitrogen fixation. Here the nitrogen is enzyme which has the central metal atom of iron and molybdenum. So both are involved in the nitrogen fixation. That is conversion of nitrogen to ammonia. That is nitrogen fixation in the plants. Next, if we see the scope of bioinorganic chemistry, its main scope is the study of role of essential metals in metal binding proteins and its interactions mechanism in metabolic reactions in living beings. So main importance of bioinorganic chemistry is the studying of metal binding proteins and the reaction towards the living system. Many of the reactions in biological systems happening in the presence of aqueous media. And if you see, organic reactions are not mainly taking in the presence of aqueous media. It's mainly taken in the presence of non-aqueous media. But this type of reactions that in living system, many of the enzymatic reactions also taking place in the presence of aqueous media. See, human body is made up of 99.9% of just 11 elements. The first element is oxygen, which has a 63%, nitrogen, potassium, carbon, calcium, sulfur, hydrogen, phosphorus. So next to oxygen, carbon is present I percentage, and next is hydrogen, next is nitrogen, and the least one is sulfur. So oxygen is the more present and sulfur is the least present elements. Okay, and there are some bulk elements which needed in high percentage in human body, that is sodium, potassium, calcium and magnesium. And this copper, cobalt, iron and zinc and all are trace elements. So it was taken through the food. So it's a daily taken through by the food. So it's a daily requirement elements. See some of the metal ions and their roles. If we take sodium and potassium, it's a monovalent cations, S block elements. So most of the ligands are organic ligands. If you see the ligands inside the human system, they are organic ligands. The sodium and potassium binds very weakly with the organic ligands, and mobility will be very high because small so radius ratio and small charge size. Okay, and it serves as a charge carriers and it maintains the osmotic pressure in the human body. And next, magnesium 2 plus and calcium 2 plus. It's a divalent cation and it is moderate, and if you see the mobility, it's having moderate mobility. And if you see the role of this, and it involved in the transferring of structures. So they are involved in the structural activities. This calcium 2 plus serves as a charge carrier and is used in the signal transmission. So many of the biological reactions and the signal transmissions are happening with the help of calcium 2 plus. And zinc 2 plus, we have already discussed. Zinc present in some enzyme called carboxypeptidase, and also it acts as a Lewis acid for certain biological reactions. Okay, next if you see that iron, copper, manganese and molybdenum, they are involved in the redox reaction, act as a redox catalyst in electron transfer reactions. So mainly this oxygen and iron and copper involved in the oxygen transport. Okay, and next we will see some of the importance of the elements, biological importance of the essential elements. First we will go with lightest element, that is hydrogen. So hydrogen is a very lightest element and it participated in many biological reactions, that is used in mainly 1 electron and 2 electron transfer. So this type of electronic transfer reactions facilitated through the hydrogen atom. Mainly it involved in the ATP synthesis, that is adenosine triphosphate. This adenosine diphosphate, so many of the membranes in the biological system contains proton gradients. So this proton, with the help of the proton gradients, the adenosine diphosphate is converted into adenosine triphosphate and releases the proton. So this adenosine triphosphate gives the energies to the biological tissues. Okay, and this is the main importance of hydrogen. And next, if you see the helium is the belongs to inert gas family. It's a inert gas family, noble gas element. It's not very essential to the human body, but in case it was inhaled by the human person, the voice gets changed to the higher frequency. That is, as soon as it inhaled by the human person, the voice gets fluctuated inside the windpipe and it gives to the higher frequency. So the voice gets converted into the higher frequency. So this gas was mainly used in the cartoon programs and movies and Walt Disney programs and all, and so on. And next one, lithium. Lithium is not required for life. It's not very much essential, and but it was used in the treatment called manic depression, sometimes known as bipolar disorder. For this disorder, the lithium carbonate is used in the dose of 0.8 to 1.2 millimolar per liter. So bipolar disorder is nothing but sometimes some people feeling happy, sometimes they suddenly change their happiness to the sad moment. Okay, so they are called bipolar disorder effect. So this disorder is treated by using the lithium carbonate. And next, barium used as a contrast agent in radiography. So this radiography is imaging technique by using some radiations, gamma rays and x-rays and all. Some of the organ which is has to be diagnosed as the image has been taken of the particular organ and studied. Okay. For that, this barium is used as a contrast agent. Next, this 99 technetium, it is an isotope of technetium. Again, it is used in the radiodiagnostic agent. So this mainly diagnoses the thyroid disorder and as well as kidney imaging. So some of the treatment also the given. Mainly this was given to the kidney imaging technique. So along with some labeling elements. So technetium 99 is act as a labeling isotope in the radiodiagnostic agent. And next one is boron. Boron is not very essential element to the human body, but it is act as a drug. Boron containing polyether called they are named as macrolide and used as an antibiotic. Like penicillin, streptomycin, erythromycin, they are used as an antibiotic against the bacteria. Okay, and used to kill the some harmful bacteria. And next, the boromycin, the compound of boron, this boromycin act against the HIV virus, so it is anti-HIV agent. Next, if you see, non-metals, that is carbon, nitrogen and oxygen are essential. They are very essential. And antimony 3, Sb3, this was used in the treatment of eczema. Eczema is the skin inflammation and skin irritation disease. So for this is the antimony 3 compounds are used to treat. Okay, next, bismuth 3, and bismuth 3 compounds are used in the treatment of gastric ulcer. Next, if you see the fluorine is an allergen. This fluorine has a very crucial role in the DNA synthesis. So anti-tumor agent. So fluorine with uracil converted into 5-fluorouracil. This is a structure of 5-fluorouracil, act as an anti-tumor drug. Another drug also 5-fluorodeoxythymidylate, also a anti-tumor drug. So it is very important to inhibit the thymidylate synthase enzyme, which plays crucial role in DNA synthesis. So in DNA synthesis, the tumor cells are affecting the cells continuously. So cells gets replicated. Those people who are affected by the cancer. So for this thymidylate synthesis inhibit by the using 5-fluorouracil. So after using the 5-fluorouracil, it was inhibiting the thymidylate synthase and doesn't use the DNA for the further production. So it inhibits the production of DNA. Inhibits the production of DNA replication. Okay, so the fluorine plays a very important role in the DNA synthesis. And next, sodium, and it acts as the ionic gradient and regulates the osmotic pressure in the human body. So sodium, potassium and calcium 2+ chloride ion and all used in the transport proteins. And next, if you see magnesium, as I told you already, chlorophyll is a pigment found in the plants. So this chlorophyll as the central metal ion magnesium 2+. Okay, so it's a metal center in chlorophyll. And magnesium ATP used in the muscle contraction, and it also involved in the phosphoryl transfer reaction along with the phosphate molecules. And next you see aluminum. Aluminum is not very essential. It is because it is a toxin. Yeah. If it is intaken by the person, it's lead to the neurotoxic. That is, nerve cells get damaged, which causes the Alzheimer disease. So the Alzheimer disease is nothing but a brain memory loss. Okay. So this and all about some biological importance and effects of elements. And rest of the elements we will see in the next video. Thanks for watching, and like my video, share and comment my video. Okay.